Welcome back, everyone, to Daydreamers Club podcast. Today, I am here with Christina, aka Tini, and she is the owner and creator of all things Tini's. Is it XOXOTINI or
XOXOTINIS?
Okay, perfect.
Instagram.
Yes. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what it is, and then we'll kind of go into like how you got started in it.
Okay, so Tini's is a little brand that I started this past fall. It was something I kind of started as a side hobby. I love crafting and doing everything DIY. So last summer, one of my projects was making jewelry. And I started by making these little pearl charm necklaces, and then I just kind of had friends that were super interested in them and started buying them. And, this past March, I ended up I've been in music for the past decade and ended up leaving that, life kind of figured out, had a different plan for me. Yeah. So in the meantime, I've been leaning into this, and I make handmade jewelry, and I also do gifting, and I have so many ideas. I want to expand. I want to do home goods. I want to create art. I want to do all the things. So right now I make, handmade jewelry and gifts here in Austin.
I am obsessed. I love all of your stuff. You said you used to be music. What kind of music? What do you mean by that?
So I was an artist manager. My title is technically a day-to-day manager for the past 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
So I had picked up and moved to LA back in 2014, which was kind of a hope and dream of wanting to work in music. And I had been dabbling a little bit when I graduated college in 2013 in New Orleans, had an opportunity. Oh, I've lived everywhere.
Look at my little New Orleans.
Yes. So I went to LSU, Louisiana State. So moved to New Orleans after, and then I ended up picking up. I just fell in love with electronic music, and this was what 2011, 2012, 2013, electronic.
I remember the peak of Skrillex.
Yes, exactly. The Avicii's, the Swedish House Mafia. I was super into it and just fell in love with it, and had an opportunity to move to LA. My cousin was moving out there. My aunt hated that I lived in New Orleans. She thought it was super dangerous, and it was funny because when she first asked if I wanted to move to LA, hey, you want to work in music? Right. This could be a good spot. Yeah. I was like, no. I love New Orleans so much, even though I was breaking my back, working 3 different jobs, bartending, hostessing, whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, I love it here, but I ended up, and I have a feeling we're going to end up diving into all of this, but picked up, moved to LA, where within 6 months I met my first boss, and I was working for Board Wars record label by Gore. My very first job was as a very, very green publicist. Yes. PR. So I've been working. That was kind of my foot in the door, and my first 2, I was a publicist for that for about a year, and then after a year, my boss, who's the label manager, started his own management company. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I do not like PR. I think I can get into this instead. And his first 2 clients were Getter and Puya.
Oh my God.
So,
my boyfriend is obsessed with Puya.
Yeah, so very safe to say, my kind of bread and butter has been electronics, and then hip hop and rap. Wow. So those were kind of my first 2 clients, and I would end up working on them for 8.5 years. So kind of been through, a lot of different moments with them. And then, had a lot of different artists, but mainly, electronic and hip hop. And then this past 1.5 years, I also dabbled in country.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So definitely already in the last 10 years, living a lot of different lives. Mm-hmm. Did you like living in LA?
I loved it.
I fuck with LA. I love LA so much.
Love LA. And I, maybe it's also because I'm very fortunate that I ended up meeting such amazing people that are still my best friends. Okay. We still have a group chat where there's 20, 30 of us, that have it's been going on for the past 6 or 7 years. And it's really cool. My friends are just so amazing and kind, but so talented. And seeing, we all met, I guess it's really been about 10 years now. So seeing where everybody was at the beginning of their career, we were living in LA 2014 peak EDM, I ended up.
What a life.
It's crazy because I was thinking on the drive here, just kind of some of the random moments that I've, you know, had. Like one of them, I was at the 24-hour Jack U party with Skrillex and Diplo at an apartment in LA. You know, I was there when the cops came in. Like,
you're like, I was there. I
things
there.
like,
Yeah, like you. Yeah,
like that has just been
really cool experiences.
really cool. But I, you know, a lot of people dog LA. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I fuck with it. I think it's so cool. I think it's also just like, I think a lot of people, they move out there to like make their dreams come true because it can actually happen out there. I mean, it's hard work.
It's hard. It is hard work. I mean, I picked up, moved there, didn't have a job, didn't have any friends. I just was like, I went out with my cousin, who again, like my aunt helped me move there with him. And yeah, I mean, my very first job, I got there, I was selling, you know, t-shirts at a boutique on the Venice Boardwalk. You know, and
you have to start somewhere.
And like just trying to go out and network. And it did help that the year I was in New Orleans leading up to that, you know, I was bartending and hostessing all the like three jobs going, like pulling multiple doubles a week. And then because the electronic scene there was so small, there was maybe 2 shows a month, you know, at Republic, or then there's like the super afters. It's called the Dragon's Den, which is like a deep cut. But one of my friends, I had friends who were different promoters and throwing different electronics shows. I remember, like, please, like, can you please hire me? This is what I want to do. They're like, Christina, you know, we're not making any money. Like, we have no money. But one of them was like, hey, I think you'd be really good at artist relations. You know, you're really good at talking to people. You're really hospitable. I think this could be a good thing for you. So this was actually my very, very, very first step into music. And again, you know, there's only 2 shows a month. So it's not like that was anything bringing the bills, but that's kind of where I started, you know, meeting these artists that I was fans of. And I was at the time really big in the dubstep bass scene. So really big into it, the trap, you know, all of that. So, but yeah, just ended up meeting people. And so it's just through these crazy happenstances and stories where 2 of the artists that I worked for in Louisiana ended up, one was at Heroes and Villains, and the other was Dirty Audio. And these were at 2 different shows, but befriended them. And we fast forward to me driving to LA, the 3-day drive.
Insane.
And I'm driving right in on a Friday. And Fridays at the time, Avalon had their big, like, Friday control nights. Yeah. It was, like, their big EDM nights. And both of those artists, Dirty Audio and Heroes and Villains, just so happened to be playing at Avalon that night. So I like hit up Heroes and Villains because we had become friends and guest listed me. So I drive into LA and I get, you know, have backstage access to Avalon. And that night and I'm like telling you, like, this feels like a movie. I mean, there's so many crazy stories too, because not only did I get like this, you know, backstage access, 2 months before I visited LA for the first time. I've never even been to California. I was like, well, I'm going to pick up move here. I don't even know what it's like. And I remember flying into Long Beach and seeing, you know, it's an outdoor airport. There's these palm trees. And I'm like, oh, I love it here.
You're like, this is my home.
So another crazy story is I had no friends there. I didn't know anybody but my cousin. So I was using like Tinder to meet people. And I was also using Twitter to meet people. So this was 2013. And I had befriended Party Thieves, who's a DJ and ended up becoming one of my good friends. Befriended him on Twitter. At that time, Slander just so happened to be putting out a remix of one of Party Thieves' songs. And I won tickets while I was visiting LA to a Slander show. Oh my God. And I asked Party Thieves, like, hey, so random. I know you don't know me. Yeah. I won tickets to this show. I'm visiting to see if I even want to move to LA. Do you happen to know anybody there that I can just, you know, introduce myself to? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to put you in touch with Phil Quist. Phil at the time is a junior agent at CAA. We link up. He ends up, his +1 to all these different shows. Going to Sound Nightclub was one of them. It was like Bixel Boys. It was like the big Bixel Boy era. And just like, it was just this whole, you know, crazy happenstances, right? So that happened when I was visiting. And then sorry, I'm like going back. Oh, and also when I was visiting and I was on Tinder.
It's so funny.
Dude, there's this
Like,
guy,
not Tinder.
I could tell he worked in music, whatever. Anyway, I tell him I'm coming back for this show. Turns out, yeah, I'll be back in a month, 2 months. I'm going to be coming in on this show. And he's like, oh, I won't be there. I'm going to be out of town. But I know my roommate's going to go. He's going to be backstage. And he has a bucket hat on, covered in tattoos. You should introduce yourself to him. I was like, sure, whatever. Okay.
Let's just do that. Oh my gosh.
So, fast forward, I'm moving to LA, driving to LA, you know, go home, my new apartment, change, go straight out to Avalon. Lo and behold, I'm backstage and I see this guy with a bucket hat and there's a big evil tattoo on his neck. And I go up to him, I'm like, hey, this is so weird. And your roommate told me I need to meet you. I literally just moved in today. And he ends up being one of my like first friends, and we hang out every single weekend. And that guy is Ash Reiser, who unfortunately he's passed away, like R.I.P. But his manager is Stephen Pale, who in 6 months would give me my first job at Pie.
I just got chills.
So I'm sorry, there was like a huge like, you know, workaround, but it's just I have just so many instances of like that where it's just these crazy random moments, just like serendipitous moments, I guess, right?
Also, it's like you're doing the work to like put yourself out there too. It's not like you're like, okay, I'm gonna drive into LA and like wait for these opportunities to come to me. You're like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fucking, I don't know, get on Twitter, get on Tinder, get on anything to like make it work. But like, I think it's also because like you are putting yourself out there. It's like, hey, universe, look, I'm doing these things. It's kind of scary, but like, you know, you're getting those like rewards in return, so that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, one of my very first places I bartended in New Orleans, Warehouse Grill. I remember Thomas Thomason.
What a name!
I haven't talked to him in forever. He hired me. He was going through my interview, and I remember we were talking about, you know, something that he said that really stuck with me, you know, as a bartender, is every person you don't speak to is a missed opportunity.
Wow.
And that's kind of something that I was going through a pretty, you know, difficult time in my life around then. And that was something that, you know, really hit me hard because my junior year of college, my mom passed away and I got really sick for a few years. And, you know, I was kind of going down this like, woe is me, it's kind of self-destruction path. And I finally kind of got to a point where, you know, I picked up and had moved to New Orleans and I was like, okay, I'm going to just kind of try it. But, you know, New Orleans is hard to do that in when it's a very big party city. But that was something that it was like one of the first really like meaningful conversations I had, and it like there, and it really stuck with me, you know, every person. And that's not just obviously in a bar setting, but I took that everywhere. Every person I don't speak to, it's a missed opportunity. You just never know.
Exactly, because that like one person, hey, you might not connect with that person, but they might think of you the next time something else happens. And so it's like constantly like networking and making those connections, even if it is through Twitter or Tinder.
And I never realized too how big of like networking has always been my superpower. Like even growing up, I mean, my friends in high school would always make fun of me because like they'd be like, oh, Christine, do you love that person too? Do you like, is that your best friend too? And I'm like, yeah, like it is funny. I did win senior superlative out of almost 700 kids, everyone's friend. That tracks.
You're like, they're my friend too. That is insane. So you spent like 10 years in the music industry, right? Okay, and so then what made you finally pivot out of it?
So a few years ago, I kind of started wanting to get out of it because, you know, being a day-to-day manager, being so artist focused, you know, it's a 24/7 job, you know, and there's a lot of high sense of urgency for things. And it was a lot, and doing it for so long and, you know, just constantly being on high alert and kind of dealing with different personalities. And I've been wanting to get out of it for a while. And then a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, was the first time I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to switch. And I started like looking at different avenues. And then I got a day-to-day position that was like it was for a great company. I had a job increase or a raise increase. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is what I need to be in for right now. And so was there for 1.5 years. And then in March, you know, I've been a remote employee this whole time. So my company had still been in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been going back and forth, flying back and forth. And they wanted to have somebody full time in LA than remote. But I was like, you know what? It definitely caught me off guard. And I was like really, really bummed about it. But it kind of hit me a few days later. I'm like, okay, like I've been wanting to get out of this for a while. And so luckily, you know, I've had Teenies where I kind of had that soft launched it a few months before. So I kind of had a sense of
Direction.
something.
Yeah, not just like, oh, fuck, I was just laid off. And now, like, I don't even want to be in that industry. So it's almost like, again, little things just happening for you.
And I just knew I wanted to create. I've always loved creating. And so I was like, you know, maybe this is that time. And at least it was something while I'm applying to full-time and part-time jobs that it's something I can keep my creative juices flowing. I'm like, okay, like I can learn more about the branding side of things and more on the social media and how I can like, you know, really build up my own brand. Yes. And it kind of made me realize that I've spent the past 10 years acquiring skills, you know, building up people's brands and learning all these different aspects to keep, because I mainly worked with, you know, very independent artists with very too little no budgets. Like what's money?
Right.
So, you know, I learned to get really crafty with that. I taught myself photography.
Amazing.
So I taught myself that in 2017. With photography I taught myself Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro. You know, I was able to do Shopify and Squarespace website design and merch, like how to like sell merch online and do social media and branding, you know, all of these different skills that I was like, wait, why can't I
like apply this to
myself? Do it for me. Why can't I put me first?
No, it is really interesting because I feel like I'm really, really good at like doing things like outside of work stuff for others, but like also like work, like when it comes to like social media shit, like if someone's like, I have no ideas, I'm like, I could give you an entire like essay on everything that you should do, but for myself, I have no clue.
Yep.
And so it's interesting that you said that, but yeah, it is kind of crazy that it's like, you know, doing photography, all of that stuff, the merch, the online sales, the websites, like that's everything that you need in order to start a business, especially the type of business that you're doing. And so it's been, you said like about a year or like a little less than like 6, 7, 8 months?
I officially kind of launched Teenies in, I guess I launched the website November of last year. So coming up on a year.
Oh my God.
But really started leaning into it in March.
Yes. Okay. And so when you started like leaning into it and like getting it up and running, what was that like? Was it mainly doing like pop-ups or what did that look like for you?
So I knew when in March when I really decided to lean into it, I was like, well, first I want to like really dial in the branding side of it. Like my colors were kind of a bit everywhere and like I just wanted to have a more, you know, cohesive aesthetic. So that was kind of my very first thing. But I need to figure out colors. I'm going to figure out packaging because, you know, that's what's really important. What I like to stand out too is like just kind of making sure all these pieces are together. And then another crazy, you know, happenstance story within maybe within a month, Love Shack Fancy Austin DM'd my Teenies account, and mind you, I only have, you know, maybe 400 followers. I think I only have like 650 now, but only 400 followers, and asked me if I'd be interested in doing a trunk show. And I had done 2 pop-ups like in December, and it was still me figuring out kind of what my line is, what color, everything was just kind of like a hodgepodge. So I was like, okay, this is my first like, this will be almost like my coming out, you know, this is my new branding, my new designs, colors, or whatever. So we had planned it for Memorial Day weekend. So next thing I know is I was just planning for my first trunk show. And then in the meantime too, I've been getting custom orders still, like pretty frequently, like a few a week. But so that's been starting to pick up too. And then yeah, Austin went really well. And so since then, I've been to the Houston Love Shack Fancy. I just did the Dallas Love Shack Fancy. We're doing the grand opening of the Woodlands October 4th and 5th, and then coming back to Austin F1 weekend on the 17th and 18th.
That is so fucking cool.
So that's only since May, you know?
Yeah, like it's not even been a full year, and you've already have like, and that's such like a great business to be in business with, you know, and like be able to do things with, especially because she's like woman owned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that. Oh, I love that. Have you always? Because I know that you said that you had like kind of always been very creative. Were you always making jewelry and stuff?
No, I just started making jewelry last summer.
Was it just like I just want to try this?
Honestly, one of these like pearl necklaces, I remember seeing them online, and one of my girlfriends, shout out Emily, she was wearing one, and I was like, oh my god, I love it. She's like, I hate it. I was like, man, I've been wanting to make those for so long. Can we have a craft night? She's like, absolutely. So she brought her bead stuff over one night, and this was in August of last year, and made it, and I was like, I love it. It's literally, this is my very first one that's now a bag charm.
So cute.
So, but yeah, and I mean, when I was a kid, I used to, you know, do the little like bead things or the key
the braided thing.
Yeah, you know those like braided. Like I used to do that.
That was not good.
But jewelry specifically, yeah, it was just really last summer.
That's insane. And now, like, look, like, okay, imagine where you're gonna be in like another year from now.
It's crazy, and I keep needing to like, you know, I'm so used to like working in management, right? And we're just having so many different deadlines, and there's kind of always like reaching after that, like I'm always chasing after that like completion thing. And now this is for my first time. I'm like, I just want to enjoy this process. And also like it has been moving so fast to be like, okay, like only getting one thing done today is okay.
Right.
Like I'm trying to really learn how to enjoy this process. Like I'm so happy right now, and like I really love this. It's like as much as I do have like so many goals and things I want to do, but I'm like, you know what? I know it's going to get there, and I know I'm taking those steps.
Right.
But I don't have to do all the steps in one day.
I love that you said that. I love that for a few different reasons. One, because I think a lot of times when people like first quit their job or get laid off or whatever that like kind of like pivotal moment is for them, it's like, holy fuck, I feel like a piece of shit because I'm being lazy. But think about how much you've worked in the last 10 fucking years. Like, you're being...
That's another thing, too.
Burnout is so real.
24/7. And I was like, I can give myself even just like a month, like in which I don't know how to do that. You know, after a day of just being on the couch, I'm like, all right, we gotta go. We gotta move. So that's why, like, another reason, like, I know I'm gonna be okay. Like, I know I have that work ethic, but I'm learning how to like restructure my cortisol levels.
Yes.
I always thought it was such like, ooh, I have a high sense of urgency. Ooh. And now I'm like, chill, girl. Like we don't need to brag about that.
Where are we going? No, I know. Someone the other day was like, oh, it's fine, I can handle a lot. And I was like, no.
And that was me for the past decade too.
You are gonna be so burnt out because she's only 25. And when she told me that, and she was like, oh, it's fine, I can handle like all these things, I was like, bitch, I used to be the same way. And now I can barely fucking work sometimes because it's like, it's just too much. Like, slow down. It's okay. Like,
I know, it's like, why are we in such a rush?
A jewelry emergency. You know, like, my hair girl always says that. She's like, there's no such thing as a fucking hair emergency. Like, you're not gonna die.
I say that about music. Yes. Like, I love working music. We were all fans first. That's why we got into it. We should not be stressing ourselves over it. Like, we are not curing cancer.
No. Literally.
It's just like your fan, like, I bet you anything, if there is an issue, your fans aren't gonna notice it.
That part.
You know, and we can take a day
it's fine
to figure out a solution. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But there were just so many instances, or, you know, I started like towards the end just feeling like imposter syndrome and just like, because it was too much. But
how have you dealt with any imposter syndrome since now working for yourself? Or has it been like, you're pretty much like, man, everyone loves my You're like, I'm great.
Yes. But I tried to squash it pretty quick because I know that like that is what's going to be my downfall. Like, I know I've never once in my life had such like a clear path. Like, for the longest time, I thought like I want to be my dream is to be a music manager.
Right.
I want to do this. This is my, but it's funny because I never really saw where I ended in that. You know, I saw myself doing it, but I never really saw it ending. And I'm just like, I was like, oh, I want to be this great music manager, but like the really nice one that people want to work with. Because, you know, not the really mean, scary one.
You're like, I'm not like other moms.
I'm a cool mom. And I'm kind of, you know, realizing that that's what will be my downfall. Oh yeah, okay. There it is. But for the first time with this, I see the potential. I can see where we're going. I have like 3 years planned, 4 years plans. Like I see how I can expand Teenies and really become this like big thing. And so I needed to, I've never had this much like confidence in my life either. Like we love her.
I feel like I love this because it almost sounds like exact opposite experience of what a lot of people experience when they first become a freelancer. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, so you're doing great. You're
and I am definitely, you know, I'm very still scared and I haven't really, I'm still applying to full-time jobs and even part-time jobs. You know, I haven't weaned myself.
Yeah, you're like, I still wouldn't mind having more money.
But, you know, I've been doing artist hospitality for so long. That was my first, you know, bread and butter in music. I've been starting to do that more over the past few months, picking up hospitality gigs. So this has kind of been a nice, where I can kind of do both. I can do Teenies, but I'm also like, I was a VIP manager of Deep Tropics in Nashville in August a couple months ago, or last month. I was a hospitality manager at LS Fest, which is this car festival in Kentucky. I'm about to work ACL, so I'm starting to pick up jobs for next year too.
Right. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that either. When you're like doing freelance stuff, it's like you can do freelance anything, you know?
Yeah, and it's just it's helping me be more creative, and it's also I mean the people I'm meeting, right? I'm just constant.
Again, with your networking. Yes, and it's going to help with that too. And because I think, people get like in their head, they're like, oh, well, I'm not successful until I'm doing what I love, like full time. And it's like, no, I think it's okay to also have your job or have side gigs or like whatever. There are some days, I've been doing photography full time for 4 years where I'm like, what if I just work part time at a coffee shop too?
Yeah.
Like, that would be cool. Like, way less responsibilities. I don't know. Like, it just... You can do whatever the fuck you want, and that's the beauty of it.
It is. Oh my god, it's so awesome. I'm like, wow, I can wake up and I can have a slow morning. Yes. And now, though, that I am still applying these jobs every day, I'm like, man, like, I don't really want to work for anyone else.
Yeah,
I don't want to give anyone else.
You gotta go back to.
Yeah, like I also don't want to give anyone my ideas. Like, because this is another reason why I know I am on the right path. Is not only do I see such a clear path, but I just like.
I was gonna ask, but it's okay if you are like, I don't want to share everything. Since you were saying like, you're like, I know where I want to take Teenies. Like, I know what my next path is. Do you want to share on like how you kind of want to expand?
I can give like a little.
You don't have to give us your secret.
Yeah, I can give a little sneak peek. But Teenies will just kind of be the overall brand, and I'd love to have like a bunch of different like sub entities under it.
Nice.
So it's like I don't want to just pigeonhole myself into one vertical, right? And so like right now I'm calling it phase 1, where I'm in Tini's place, and these are all my physical goods. Okay. And so right now we're doing jewelries, gifting in general, gonna expand.
What do you mean by
goods? So just like gifts. Like if you are looking for a gift for any holiday or for clients or whatever, I pride myself on being a really good gift giver. So almost like a gift consultant, right?
Wait,
so
that's
like,
a job?
I know, but I'm making it.
Okay.
But like people who have who aren't good gift givers, like, hey, let me dissect this for you and we can come up with an idea. So actually a girl that I met at the first supper club where I was a vendor at, her and I became friends. She works in like tech, but like in the defense sector.
Shit.
But they have a management retreat in October, and I'm working on a 17-piece order for the management. She was like, we had a consultation. She's like, this is the demographic. These are the things they like. Like, can we come up with like a gift
hiring for this role?
Yeah.
I I want to be the first to know. That would be a fucking dream. I'm
Is
also,
that? And
like,
then
a
I can
good
also
gift
like
thing, so.
personalize it too. You know, I have a Cricut. I just got a heat press, so we're
Fun.
making these like I came up with like a passport luggage tag set, also with an ear tag that's gonna hang out as like a little name tag.
Incredible.
So like gifted.
You're literally a creator.
I just want to make cute shit.
Creating. Oh my god, this sounds amazing.
So yeah, so there's that, and then like
Hold
one
it.
other little thing I want to get into in the next couple years. I love styling, interior styling, events, really anything. So I want to get
Girl.
into consulting or like services, and that'll be my teeny ideas.
It's so cute.
Phase 2, and then I have a couple more, but those
Okay,
are
I
my
love
big
it.
ones.
I love it. I'm obsessed. I have had so many people my entire, I guess not entire life, entire adult life, be like, I'll pay you, come do my home, come decorate my house, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if you really want me to do that, but I fuck with that.
Girl, I just want to I just want to create
you
cute
just-
shit. Like if you come into our house, I made these little mini shelves out of vinyl records, and I like painted this geometric, like very mod painting, and I braided. I have a hanging lamp, and I braided the cord, so it's like a really cool, you know. And it's like
I would love
I just
your home.
want to like
I would love your
create
home.
cute shit. Yeah, we know when I walked into yours, I was like,
Yep,
yours,
you see it.
get it.
I know, I'm like, I have tried so many times. This room has changed like 50 times.
love
It's
it.
so funny to be a minimalist.
What's that like? Who's
Oh,
she? I don't even know her.
I'll like walk in and I'm like, oh, it's nice, and then I'm like, this is disgusting. Like I can't do it. Like I need things. I need texture. It's still not exactly how I want it, but it's like
Just like
Whatever,
I just
put it out.
need
things.
But like whenever somebody comes to our house, they're like, "Wow, like it's so homey, it's cozy."
Exactly. That's
But
what
I do
want.
have to take a step back and be like, "All right, when is it too much?"
Yes.
We have to make sure like each piece is carefully curated and not.
Yeah, I agree because I've
There's a fine line.
this fucking horse right here.
Okay, but I love it.
I love it. Like I always thought, like if I
Are you
ever
gonna
had a-
paint it?
You know, no, I don't know. Actually,
I feel.
again, I'm not good with DIY, but I always thought like if I had a daughter one day, that would go in her room. That's like a piece that like
I love it.
I just fuck with it. Like I
I do
don't
that
know.
too, though.
I know. I'm like my
I'm
imaginary
yeah.
child. I don't even know
Just
if I
in
want
case.
this, but like
Yep,
my daughter will have that.
I love it.
The bag that's coming today, I'm like future daughter's bag. If I don't sell it,
It's an investment,
Right?
For my for our
Exactly.
generations to come.
Exactly. This is a really random question and not
Yeah.
really related. Okay, wait, I have two. What's your sign? What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Leo. I was born
Why'd
on.
you fucking
I was born on 8/8. So the peak Lionsgate portal.
Eight's my favorite number.
8's my favorite number too.
What's your rising and moon?
I am. So I'm a Leo. I'm a Cancer moon, and I'm a Libra rising.
Okay, here's my hot take.
Okay, give it to me. I love it. I love it.
I'm a Cancer rising, so that's probably why we're like. But Libras, I always think of them as like, oh, they're that girl. Like, they're so fucking aesthetic. First of all, like every time I meet a Libra, I'm like, that fucking makes sense. It's just like the it girl, the cool girl. If you're a Leo, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's also like I feel like why is somebody like, and I'm not saying like this is why incredible things happen to you, but it all kind of like
Yeah.
it works.
It's funny when I'm gonna tell you. I feel like you're gonna get a kick out of this. My like big epiphany moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been pretty sick for a few years after my mom passed away. I was severely depressed, suicidal, anorexic. I was in a very dark place.
Yeah.
And now it's like a year. It's been a few years. I'm in New Orleans. I'm just kind of partying a lot, and I haven't really had this opportunity, or I can't remember if I got the opportunity to move to LA or was like I was about to, but I remember I had smoked and I was laying in bed and I was on Netflix and I had put on The Secret. Have you?
I haven't.
Have you read the book? You do know
I
what I'm
know
talking
of
about?
it. Yes.
So, and mind you, right? This is what,
Like
2013,
there.
and it was the first time I had ever even heard of the notion of law of attraction
Wow.
or positive thinking. And mind you, I was in this pretty deep dark cycle of woe is me.
Mm-hmm.
I am such a good person. Why do bad things keep happening to me? Like, you know, but I also
really hard mindset to get out of.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to like take a step back and be like, oh, I've been doing this to myself by not putting myself out there in the right places. You know, I'm just working to party and partying to work. You know, wasn't putting myself out there, and so yeah, this was the first time. You know, the law of attraction. If you think positively, good things will happen. If you think negatively, and I was just like, what? I can do that? You're telling me
It's that easy?
She's been doing this to me?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the first time I was like, okay, I need to become a yes woman. I need to be putting myself out there. And, you know, I was in a sorority in college. I started bartending in college. It was the first time I had really started putting myself out there because I was pretty shy growing up. My best friends in junior high and high school were all the dance captains, cheerleading captains, and then I was kind of the black sheep of the friend group that like puberty did not do kindly with, and that was dating like the guy who played drums in the marching band that smoked weed, you know?
That's so funny.
And so I started putting myself out there a little bit more in college by joining a sorority, bartending, whatever. But then, yeah, this was kind of this first time watching The Secret. I was like, okay, so I really need to really start putting myself out there more in situations where I'm not comfortable with. Right. And then that had led into me picking up and moving to LA with just a hope and a dream.
The hope and a dream.
And with 6 months, I got my first job, you know, and I ended up working again for Steven for 8.5 years. And he's still one of my best friends.
That's so incredible.
But yeah.
What brought you to Austin?
So I'm from Katy, Texas.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, not too far. And my sister had been living here for like a decade. I've always wanted to move to Austin since high school, since junior high. Tried to go to UT, then the whole, you know, sister school program, if you weren't in the top 10%, that whole thing. But I do wish I lived here like 15 years ago.
Damn.
I wish I got like the weirder side.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Where are you from?
I'm from Austin.
I realize I haven't even been asking you questions back.
Girl, you don't have to.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the point of this. You're like, so tell me your story.
Yeah. Welcome to my room.
Yeah,
my podcast.
You can take over. Knock yourself out. I don't care. No, I'm actually from Austin, born and raised. My like
rare.
Yeah, like the Travis County and everything. So no one even questioned me. It's in hospital. I think there was like only one at the time. I don't fucking know, but yeah, from here. Growing up, it's so funny because like this is so fucking like Austin pretentious of me, but like growing up, my grandma like for fun used to take us to like uncommon objects, and like that was like so like she's an artist and she's very creative. Crafty, you'd love her. And so it was interesting in high school when uncommon objects became like really popular. It was like 2013, 2014 era, and I was like, y'all like coming here? Like this is like fun. It was like, oh my god, we're going to uncommon objects. Okay, like gross. Because like me growing up, I was like, oh, we have to go there again.
Grandma's taking us again.
Yeah.
Uncommon objects.
And it definitely like Austin has just turned a little too frat bro for me.
A little too techie for me.
Yeah, and like luckily because I've like lived here for so long, like I have my like routine, I have my certain paths, the streets that I prefer to go on and all that stuff, and like my routine of things. So it doesn't feel too different in that way, but like sometimes when I do like actually go out into the world, and like get out of my house, I'm like, oh yeah,
he's so expensive.
Yeah. Like,
she's
like,
expensive.
When I was working at Swedish Hall all the time, like all the men that were there, I sound like an asshole. It wasn't even specifically the men, but specifically the men that were there was like such California douchers, and that's they just so like, funny. Oh my god, I would just like be like, this is so like y'all
so not Texas.
It's so not Texas, and it's fine. Whatever, people are gonna move here, but I was just kind of like, and they just like feel like they're so hot and like cool, and I'm like, this is so like I'm so embarrassed. Secondhand embarrassment. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I think it's just like when And they're too pretty, you know? I'm like,
I don't like too pretty.
I don't like too pretty. I like a pretty guy, but like, not too pretty.
Yeah.
Like, you can't look like that. You can't be prettier than me.
Yeah. Real.
But yeah, no, I'm from here. Anyways, long story long. But yeah, I feel like it's interesting, people moving here. I kind of like, I don't know. I fuck with LA. I wish I could live there part-time.
Yeah.
Or like even in between San Diego and LA or something.
Ew, I've always wanted to live in San Diego.
Yeah, my dad's obsessed with San Diego. So I'm like, go move over there so I can live there in the fucking Texas summer or something.
Right? The goal is to become wealthy enough to have a second home, a second
Yes.
property.
Yeah, live out and whatever. Have you ever done palm reading? Or a tarot card?
I love tarot cards. I haven't done palm reading in a while, probably kind of since I was younger. I do love, it was funny, I did tarot cards in October for one of my book club. I started a fairy smut book club with some girlfriends last year. And for one of the founders, Courtney, her birthday's in October, we had like a little, birthday book club. And that was kind of the first time where I was like, man, like, I really want to get out of management again. Like, I really wish I could kind of focus on teenies. And it was like a full moon. You did like a little like ritual outside and stuff.
That.
And I actually need to go and remember what I wrote down. But I remember doing that tarot card. We had a tarot reading. Each one of us did one. And my card, my future one, was death. Crazy.
And you're like, what? I'm about to die?
Well, no, because I always knew that death isn't a bad card.
No, it's not. It's actually
It's more of like a rebirth. Yeah. And so I was just like, okay, I think,
like, I know.
I have a feeling like maybe this is it. And then I do have a deck at home that every now and then I like to just kind of be like, put a little intention out there. What's happening? And I remember like a month ago, I kind of was like, put the intention. All right, what's happening with teenies? Yes. And I had gotten, I can't remember the first two. I think it was like a 9 of Cups and 11 of Cups. And then the Empress. But they all had the same, very similar meanings of, like, what you're, like, working for or, like, so hard for right now is going to come to fruition. It's, like, long journey is finally, resolved. And, like, so I'm like, okay, so I'll do it every now and then. But I love, like, again, I'm born on 808. I'm born on the Peak Lionsgate portal. I love all of that.
No, I know. I was like, that's why I was like, oh my god, I feel like we could just have a whole episode talking about that.
I would love to get my palm read.
There's a girl here, Sister Palm. You need to go to her. For some reason, sitting here, I was like, I kept thinking palm reading. I was like, you should go see her.
Okay.
She does palm reading, and then she'll also do like, she'll pull up your chart and like compare it to be like, I guess all of this shit, pretty much. It's nuts, but you could just also do like just the palm reading itself. So.
I have actually a couple months ago, 2 separate occasions, a couple months ago from 2 different friends. One does gene key readings.
Okay, what the fuck is that?
Which you like give a birth date and it's your gene key.
I was thinking genes.
No, gene
and I was like, she can read you.
No, gene like a gene. Yeah. Gene key readings, and the other one was also like your destiny matrix. Very, very similar in the sense that they both kind of read your life's purpose. Right. So I did both. I did one in April, and then I did one like 2 months ago, and they both were read pretty much the same. It's like I'd go through these kind of trials and tribulations growing up. I'd kind of had it harder than other people. From 30 to 35, I'm going to have this big transition, this big aha moment. And that like my life path is going to like, all right, if I'm not aligned, we're going to make you aligned.
That's insane.
And that I need to focus on something that's more creative, that it's going to be a visionary. And literally the one I did a couple months ago, my friend, shout out Molly Hinkins. She also does gene key readings if you're interested. But she told me that like my life's purpose is to have a personal brand. She was like, Christina, like, people are going to love your product, but you're going to like, things are about to get really dark and like, you're going to be a light and like your inspiration and like you like putting yourself out there, like your product's going to be great, but people are going to really want to gravitate towards you. So it's crazy because through with that, and it's like, you know what, if you don't want to believe it, sure. But it's like, okay, I at least have something to hold on to, right? I have like this motivator, and I'm just kind of, and another reason why I'm continuously putting myself out there, and I'm reaping those rewards every time I put myself out there. I've been getting a job or two in return, and it's crazy because it's also, I'm becoming, I am Tini. I am, solidifying my style, kind of who I am. And it's like this whole thing. And it's funny because a few years ago, I was Christina Bomio. Now, I'm married. I'm doing this rebrand and I'm Tini Diskin. And I feel like that's going to be when everything's kind of complete, is when I keep trying to introduce myself as, I'll be like, hey, I'm Christina. Oh, Tini. And I feel like once the minute I'm like, hey, I'm Tini, that's going to be like, everything's
You
gonna
look like a Tini. Like, that's like, even when you're saying that, I'm like, you already are. What do you mean?
It's funny because ever since college, like, everybody always called me Tina. For some reason, I've just always hated Tina. I just don't feel like a Tina.
You don't look like a Tina. I don't love
know.
the name Tina either. Sorry to any. It's just one of the. That's like, I think it fits a specific person, but
me too. I was just like Tina, and then everyone and everyone would do like the Napoleon, like, come on, Tina.
Yeah.
You do him, and I'm like, oh, because this is like in college, like 2009, 2010. I'm like, oh, so yeah, Tini's kind of like came up last year. I don't know. I feel like somebody called me, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that. I also am a very dirty martini, extra dirty kind of girl.
Like, I'm kind of dirty.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy all, saying all that to like, I love believing in those things, but this whole, I feel like this is my life's purpose. And again, I have never felt such a clear path. So when my friend Molly was telling me that, like, you're supposed to, I was like, okay. And now I'm going to,
You're like, thank you for confirming this.
Yeah, and it's been helping me with my confidence. And I'm like, you know what? I know I'm a good person. I know I'm trying to do the best that I can.
Right.
And as long as I do that and just work hard and try to show up every day, then like there's no reason
things won't work out.
Things won't work out.
Even if it's like takes a little path where you're like, oh, maybe I didn't want this. It'll get to where you need to.
And I'm learning what's an inconvenience and what's like detrimental, right? Like last week, for example, I drove from Austin to Dallas for my Love Shack Fancy trunk show. I was leaving Friday morning, left at like 5:30 in the morning, so I can kind of go straight there. And I'm an hour away from Dallas. My car starts smoking. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
It's just straight up smoke. Anyway, that whole day ended up turning into a 3-hour trip, turning into 10 hours. Needless to say, I wasn't able to do Love Shack Fancy, but there was a moment where I was like, either I'm going to let this consume me and it's going to ruin my whole day, it's going to ruin my weekend. I was like, or we can just, I had a feeling that the girls, I had 2 more days at Love Shack Fancy. You know what? If we don't do today, that's fine. You know what? I'm safe. Car didn't blow up.
Thank God.
And what could have been $1,000 issue ended up just being a couple $100. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chalk today up as it was an inconvenience. Like, it was just a day, you know?
Just one of those fucking days.
It was one of those days, but I'm not going to, and I'm just really trying to, like, assess every situation and being like, okay, how serious is this?
Right.
Like, at the end, like, okay, I missed trunk show days. There's 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, so.
I feel like that also would have hurt a lot more if you didn't have other days there, but like the fact that it's like I have other days, like,
yeah,
again, car is safe, all of these things.
Yeah, it's just like learning to like, and the same, when I got let go, that first day I lost it, even the second day, and then I was like, okay, you know what, I think this is just all happening as it should, and I'm just going to stop trying to control the things I can't control, because I'm a perfectionist. Yep. I have to have everything clean before I start my day in the morning, and I have, routines, gotta do the things. But yeah, I'm just kind of really trying to just approach everything with a positive mindset, because I know the minute I approach it with a negative one, then like, that's it.
I was gonna say, it is like so many times when shit happens in life, it's like, it's all about how you react to it.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, And it's okay to have, like, those meltdowns and whatever, but, like,
You feel
every
those
time
feelings.
something bad happens, if you're just like, I'm the unluckiest person, again, with that kind of like what you were saying earlier, like the victim mindset. It's like, I'm a good person. Why all these bad things? It happens to fucking everyone. Everyone. Last week, your car was blowing up. I pulled up to a photo shoot and I didn't have my camera. It was the first time that had ever happened to me.
Not just the SD card, the whole camera.
The whole fucking camera. And no, make matters worse, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'll be right back. Mind you, it's like 40 minutes away. It's up in fucking Pflugerville. My car doesn't start. I was so embarrassed. It was like corporate too, like a group of like construction men and then like one girl, and I was like,
Y'all asked for an iPhone photos, right?
I know, I was like, are y'all cool with that? I have never forgot my camera. So weird.
Yeah.
I was
how'd you handle it?
My brain, I just was like, I was so dumbfounded. I was just like, are we like, there's no way I would forget my fucking, it's like the one thing I eat, right?
Yeah.
It was also because I was like packing up my entire car full of stuff, and so I just had set it by the front door. And
Me thinking I left my garage door open.
yeah,
It wasn't.
oh, I do that too. Or I'm like, I gotta circle back 1 second. But no, I luckily, like, the girl who hired me, I have taken photos for like her daughter and stuff forever ago, and so it's like, okay, this is really embarrassing, but like I can't even believe this happened. I've been doing photography like, 9 years now. I've never done anything like this, but I forgot my camera. And I was like, is it possible if we push back an hour? They were totally chill. Like, they didn't care. They felt bad for me, but I was really embarrassed because I was like,
sure.
like, how am I supposed to, like, I don't know. It was just very embarrassing. So, now I have like PTSD every time I get in my car. I'm like, do I have my camera? Do I have my camera? Like, is it fine?
I mean, now, and it's a lesson learned, right? That's what I've like.
Yeah.
Lesson.
Don't forget your camera.
But
So,
that's also something I've been like reminding myself is like, you know what? Every fail or every time it's I'm learning how to correct. I'm learning how to not do that again.
it's a little lesson.
It's a lesson.
Like, obviously, even with your car, it's like, that's more of a lesson on like how I should respond in that situation. Like,
If I would have kept,
panic and-
and if I would have kept driving on it, it ended up being the transmission hose. Like, I could have fucked up the whole transmission, and then it would have been, thousands. It could have
been way worse. So,
far.
but I'm glad you're okay. Jeez, it's still very stressful, but I'm glad you handled it.
Yeah, it's just, we're all
like it's all
just learning, man.
Well, to kind of end the entire interview, is there anything that like you want to share? Any piece of advice, words of wisdom? And then also after that, let us know where the people can find you.
Okay. I guess some of my words of wisdom. Every person you speak to, or every person you don't speak to, is a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put yourself out there. You need to play the game of life.
Yes.
And if you're staying at your home base, you're never going to move on to that next level. So
You're speaking right to me. I told myself I'm going to at least one networking event this month. I'm actually going to go to this Never Club one tonight.
Ooh!
The good night one. It's
Amazing.
cute. Yeah, it's an open house on the east side. You should go.
Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Yeah, text me.
Okay.
But yeah, so I love that.
Yeah. Oh, and then also you can find me on Instagram at XOXOTINIS, and then online too at tinisplace.com.
Yes. And then for anyone watching, do you have some of your things?
I do.
Okay, you can show this camera right here.
I did. I brought my little.
I know. I'm like, let me sort through. I'd like to.
Oh, well, we have, of course, my little custom pearl bracelet and necklace that is kind of the big one. So I started making, these are kind of a new design of, sorry about my stuff, of these little gem necklaces. So they're made with natural stones. Those are a lot of jade and cherry quartz. And then what's fun about these is all my necklaces come with these little heart clasps.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so you can actually, so they're not married to the clasp. You can change the clasp out, and the more you get, you can piece them together, and you can do like little belts or longer necklaces or like wrap. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure.
I love that.
And then this is an example of one of my charm necklaces. So this is an evil eye one. But yeah.
Wow.
So all my charm necklaces, this is just a heavy PVD gold-plated stainless steel, so it's not going to tarnish. It's like super heavy duty. So those are one of the things you can expect. I also have, I'm like, my gift of treats. I have a bunch of these wallet wristlets.
Okay, let me see these.
I actually is an example. And you can also put it on your phone too. And I made like a little.
Wait, how do you put it on your phone?
So I have these little, not on me,
I like this one.
but I'm like, where is? So it's an example of like a jade phone charm. So I have these little phone things that you sandwich in between your phone case and that. That one doesn't have it.
Bare ass phone.
But
I'm raw dog this
yeah.
phone. I'm like, everyone's like, what the fuck?
Or
Where's your
you
case?
can do it as like a little.
Okay, but this one's so cute.
So I'm gonna have a bunch of those. I'm not just hanging here,
a freaking
or just a bracelet. And I have kind of to match with that too.
Oh my god.
So this is a sunglass chain, but also can be a purse strap.
Bitch. Make that in silver and it's mine.
I have I'm gonna make more silver ones, but yeah, so
I'm
this
a
is kind of like a
silver
little
girl.
set.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I like these colors. I'm gonna have to get a custom one from you.
Yes, yeah, I do any sort of custom work.
And the
So if you
sunglasses,
have
the
ideas.
cool thing about the sunglasses one, it's like also like a necklace.
And then this is like my little fruit bag charms.
Oh my god. Okay, everyone,
So, yeah.
please check her out. I love these
All of my
chunky
little-
things.
I'm
Little
like,
ASMR moment.
Huh?
Little ASMR.
So yeah, those are a few examples.
Oh my gosh,
of this.
I'm so excited. I want to get one for my friend too. She,
Really let me know.
yeah, I will. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.